Can you see me?
Yep,
Yeah,
we can hear.
Oh, good, good, good.
we can see you. We can hear you.
Wow.
So have you got snow?
Well, just a slight covering.
Okay.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, yeah.
But we keep getting snow showers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's yucky outside.
You
Oh,
got
yeah.
it. That's my description.
Definitely, definitely.
Oh,
Oh,
I tell the cats it's horrible out there, and they stick their nose out and turn around and come back in again.
yes, yes. Think it's a bad deal.
We finally got to have our Christmas with Debbie and Todd yesterday.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They,
Oh,
yeah, they had all had COVID, and we had it in the garage.
oh my.
Yeah, we had it in the garage. That was good. We got to see them. So that was
Well,
good.
that's the important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figure. Yeah, it's different this year.
No kidding.
Yeah.
David Harold,
No kidding. He looks so serious.
can you hear us, David?
No.
Dave, can you hear? Remember, he had audio. Come on, Dave, you can do it. Dave.
If he can't do it, nobody can.
Oh, now he's muted. Now he's unmuted.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear?
Uh-uh.
Come on, Dave. Speak to us, Dave.
He's not looking at.
Hey, Dave. Dave Harold.
He's looking. He's not going to hear you if you yell.
Talk. Say something.
I think he can hear.
I don't think he's
That's funny.
got his earplugs in, but I don't think they're
I don't
working.
think they're working either.
There you go. Now can you hear?
Nope. He'll get it.
Now can you hear?
Nope.
Can you hear us, Dave? Hey, Dave.
Oh, Rome, you don't want to go out
This
there.
is something, isn't it?
It's hilarious.
We're admitting Christy close.
Oh, Rome, you don't want to go out there. Trust me.
Dave. Oh, look. Oh, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, Christy.
She's not. She's connecting to audio too.
She's connecting to audio. Dave, you have got to be able to have
Nope,
audio.
she's gone.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, Tommy.
How are you? What's
I'm
going
good.
on?
How are you?
Some kind of a thing's
Hi,
going on.
Christy.
Hi. Now, who is that? Now, why can't I get the rest of
Diane.
it?
That's Diane Duncan.
Oh, hi, Diane Duncan. Nice to see you. Now,
Hey.
wait a minute. Join with video. Let me make sure I got it all going here because I can't see the rest of you at the moment. So.
You've got to see me because I've got on a Richmond sweater today. Richmond.
Oh, but I don't see it. I want to see it.
There's
It's in-
Jane.
It says
Hello, Jane.
waiting.
Tom Kinder, Tom
Hello.
and Betsy.
So,
There they
Hey.
are.
Okay, now I don't see anybody, but I see me, which I don't really want to do.
Oh,
It says
here comes
join with video, and I'm pushing the
Becky
button.
Redpath.
What?
Hi, Tom. Hi, Betsy. Hi, Becky.
Hey, TP.
Tell me
Good.
what else I'm not pushing right, guys. Because it keeps saying waiting.
We had an alarm. On
What was that
It
thing?
was an alarm on that picture thing. I don't know what.
Oh,
I have to figure
oh.
it out.
okay. So can you see everybody now, Christy?
I can't see anybody now. It says join with video, but there's a little thing that keeps going around and says waiting, waiting.
Okay.
Waiting.
But you did click on connect with video.
Yeah, right now I'm pushing the join with video. I keep pushing it thinking it's going to make a huge difference.
Huh. I wonder what.
Maybe if you go out and come back in again.
Okay,
Might
I
have
will
to.
try. Okay, I'm going to push off the off button, the X button.
Okay. See you in a minute.
All right, I hope.
Hello.
I'm trying not to be,
Jimmy.
I'm trying not to be distracted, but
You've only
Butler
got
is playing
23 seconds.
Creighton, which is ranked number 5 in the country, and they're ahead of them 30-25 with 16 seconds left in the first half.
Oh, boy.
Who is it?
Butler and somebody.
So
Oh,
Nancy Best ought
What
to
you need
be,
to watch.
Yeah.
yeah, good old
Okay.
Butler. Hit it. Come on, buddy. All right.
What I want here.
Let's have some play-by-play.
All right. So it's 32-25 at the half. But of course, that's just the first half.
Yeah.
That's the first
So now
half.
they can't fall apart.
They've blown it lots of times.
So, oh, I gotta turn that off.
So if they get into,
Now let's join with
you know,
his wedding.
Okay, I've turned my phone off, so hopefully nobody will try and get me from our group.
Can you see us again, Christy, or now?
I am, it still says waiting.
Well,
And
Oh,
I'm putting the join with
we can see
video.
her.
Yeah, she can't see anybody else.
Huh.
Well,
We
let's see
can,
what the little thing is up
we
here.
can see you.
Oh,
we can see you and hear you.
well, we can leave it at that, but I do miss seeing you guys.
Oh, shoot. No, we want you to see us.
I want to see you.
I mean, I shaved today.
Well,
mean,
and look at his
I
hair.
got pretty.
Look
I
at
got
Tom's hair back here.
Oh my God, you guys.
Yes.
Oh my God, we're gonna have a heart attack. Ron Siders is on.
Oh, I don't believe it. I do
Oh my
not.
God. Christy, you gotta get this
I
working.
know.
Well,
Ronnie Siders!
I don't have audio on there yet.
Uh-oh,
He
come
doesn't
on,
have
Ron,
this
get the audio.
on the,
You got it, Ron Siders.
Yay!
Can,
You figured it out.
Surprise, surprise, surprise.
all right.
Yeah, no
You
kidding.
promised and you delivered,
All
man.
right.
Fantastic. Hey, that's a good looking house you're sitting in.
Oh, it's a house.
It's a house. Okay, well, when we get some more folks on here, Ron, we're gonna have you give everybody a brief history of your life since graduating from high school.
Oh, that won't be too hard to do.
Okay, good. Now,
How do I get all the pictures of people up on there?
How many what?
okay,
All I got is you and
okay.
Yeah.
Here's what you do, Ron. You guys may have to help me. You're on a computer or an iPad?
computer.
Okay. Where's Diane? Diane Colazzi. So Diane, on a computer, where would he go to do the, what do you call that? The
Gallery view.
gallery view?
Top right, it says view.
Top right, go to
Yeah.
view.
And then click on it and you will go to gallery view.
And then you can do full screen.
And then then full screen.
If you're brave,
Okay, and you said full screen?
Right.
Full screen, yep.
Where's that found?
Upper
Well,
right.
it'll be
Upper right.
gallery view.
Upper right.
Upper
I have to
right.
move my
Upper
cursor
right,
up there to
everything
see
is
it.
at the same spot.
Shoot.
Move your cursor, Ron. Move it up to the upper
Yeah.
right.
I just got it.
Hey!
All right. Yeah, and now see, this wasn't so tough, was it, Ron?
You don't know how tough it was.
Hey, it's only been what, 6 months, 8 months, something like
Yeah,
that.
that's pretty good.
Saturdays are just a bad day.
No, I know.
For me.
We really appreciate it. We really appreciate it.
Bob, do you recognize that guy?
Which one? Where is he?
Ron Siders?
Front side.
Oh, hey, Ron, what's happening? The old neighbor from Southwest Second.
Oh, yeah.
Hello, Ron Siders.
Yeah,
Joseph Moore
I
Schoolyard.
was your next door neighbor at one time.
yeah, that's right.
Joseph Moore Schoolyard.
Right.
Many a day there.
Crooked basketball court.
Basketball court, the baseball fields.
Yeah. Lot of fun over there, Ron, wasn't it?
Even cheated and went up to Earlham College a few times and broke into the gym so we could play up there.
Oh, no.
Freddie Hunt's Confectionery.
Right, that's good.
And St. Andrews.
And St. Andrews.
St. Andrews big time, yeah.
Bob, was Freddie Hunt's down there in the corner of Southwest Second and?
Yeah, Southwest Second and about D Street, I think, Tom.
Yeah, okay. Yeah. thought
And then
that-
Mike's dad's store was on Third Street, right down the street from Freddie's.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Good neighborhood, fun time.
Oh, yeah.
You've got my cord. No.
Let me see if I can see better.
Now, if I can, for just a minute, Nancy Best,
Yes.
I want you to know that Butler at the half is ahead 32 to 25 over Creighton, and Creighton is ranked number 5 in the country.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
We might win one.
Creighton's,
Of course, it's only the
Creighton in
half.
top 15, aren't they, Tom?
So we got to get David Harrell on here today also, because that last installment, I don't know if you guys read that, but that was funny. That was really funny.
Just read it, Tom, yeah.
And I don't know how many of you had read that other installment that he described last week, but when he sent that installment, he had sent a picture of where you had to kiss that guy's belly. Did you guys see that?
Oh.
Oh man, that was gross. Now I know Ron read that.
Rosie.
That doesn't help.
I hope the guy just had a shower.
No, oh no. Okay, David Harold, can you listen? Can you hear us?
I think I can hear you. You hear me?
Yep.
Yes.
He's on there now, Tom.
Okay, that's good.
Here's
Okay,
iPad.
here comes iPad.
And Jack. We
So-
see Jack sitting there.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. It's a snowy day. He wanted to snuggle.
What is that?
It could be
The dog.
somebody
You
may
have
have.
a phone and an iPad in the same, do you have them both on or?
Yes, Sharon does.
Karen,
Yeah, hi.
okay, you've got your phone on as well as your,
You say one.
Am I getting?
yeah.
We hear you.
Can you turn your phone off?
Well, if I,
That's
is that any better?
No.
No. You can't have two of them too close together. Okay. All right.
Mute yourself.
Hold on a minute, guys. I'm gonna.
There, she muted something.
Yeah.
She's gone.
Of course, we
But
can't
now we
see
don't
it
have-
now.
No, we
Who's
don't
she?
have-
Who was that?
Karen Alexander.
Hold on, I'm gonna leave the meeting.
Okay,
Okay.
see, Ron, see what we have to go through here, and you think that you're bad. This is,
Normal.
This is every week.
I know.
yeah,
I know.
we're veterans at this, and we still
Yeah,
have problems.
I'm supposed to be kind of a veteran at this, but I can't see any of you.
Oh,
Yeah?
It still says waiting right in the middle of my
Oh,
Must be.
But, oh well, but I can hear you. I can hear you.
We
we
can,
can see you.
we can see you.
Yeah,
Gee.
because
Gee,
you're
no.
not getting a chance to see Ron Siders. I mean, it's unbelievable.
Did you press call using internet? Christy?
What?
I'm sorry.
Did you press call using internet?
It just says, no, it just says that the choices here are join with video or join without video. And I keep pushing join with video. It's the blue one.
Mhm.
And I don't know what else to push here.
Are you on it?
Yeah, join with video. Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what else to do.
I mean, that's, I think about all I've had to do before, but I don't see.
She's sweating out again, Dwayne. Please, I'm sorry.
Well,
But really, I can hear you, and that's good.
And we can see you.
Oh,
Yeah, we
gee.
see you.
yeah, we can see you.
I don't know if that's good, but
Yeah, you look real cute. You look real.
oh, thank you, Tommy. And I know you look cute because you said you did. You just had a shower.
Well, I didn't say I look cute, but I want everybody to see. I've got on a Richmond Red Devils.
Oh,
I
my
know.
God.
Oh, you sure
That's
do.
neat.
Well,
There you are, Tom.
Dwayne, that's a nice, he has a Richmond Red Devils jacket on. It's neat.
Yeah.
if he did all of that, I'm sure he looks cute.
Oh, yeah, yeah. So now, first of all, Sandy, what's the latest on Vicky? I was hoping she would join us, but she
Oh,
may
yeah.
not be feeling up to it.
Right, I think it's taking longer than she thought it would.
Yeah.
And she tires easily. So then after all of her therapy, I think she just gets tired.
Yeah, probably.
And so she thought she would come on today. But
Well, might still.
she gets
She
too
might.
tired, but she might, but she said, well, maybe next week then. So
Okay.
he will be back. It's just,
I was tempted to call her this morning and encourage her to get on, but then I thought, no, I shouldn't do that. But do you think, is it,
No,
okay-
yeah, don't.
do you think it'd be okay to still call her?
oh, sure.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
I mean, I think she's doing very well, but she just says I'm tired. I'm just so tired.
I'll bet. It's gonna take quite a while.
You need rest to get better, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And then your whole left side is weak, and she's a left-handed person.
Oh,
So see, she has to learn to write, and I mean, she probably wouldn't need to, but with the computer,
Yeah.
everything.
But as far as you, when's the last time you spoke with her?
I was going to say today, but actually Dwayne spoke with her today. And Jonathan's there, and Jonathan is taking the dogs a walk. So that's where Dwayne sees Jonathan almost every day, taking the 3 dogs a walk. And
So who's
he walks with her.
Wait a minute, who's Jonathan?
Jonathan is her son from,
Oh,
I think it's Texas. So he flew in, and then he can work at home or work at
Oh,
Vicky's.
good.
So,
Yeah.
good deal.
yeah, so that's right. But I haven't talked to her in a while.
Well, hopefully she feels encouraged. We don't want her to get down.
Oh, no, she does, because, oh, no, I did talk to, I don't know when I talked to her, but anyway, she said, no, I'm going to come on this week. And then she changed her mind, so.
Okay.
That's okay.
Okay.
And then having Jonathan there, and I think he's not maybe I shouldn't say this, the most neat
Uh-huh.
person and the most neat cooker. She likes her stove spotless.
Oh, yeah. Well,
And I,
the little I know,
too.
the little I know of Vicky, man, I mean,
Yeah.
she is a absolute neat freak. When I used,
everything.
when
And
I
he,
worked,
she said he uses too much oil, so that all that oil is on. So that's probably enough to make her.
that's funny.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's probably driving her crazy.
but he's there. But he's there.
That's right.
And he's walking the dogs, and
That's good.
he's a help. So
Okay. Okay. Well, everybody, so by now we all of us on here are seeing Ron Siders for the first time in the flesh. And we keep hearing-
Great. You ever been to a reunion?
Who, Ron?
Yeah.
No, Ron, you haven't even been to a reunion, have you?
Oh, yeah. I think I've been to 3 of them.
Okay.
Okay.
Most
Okay.
recently
I
when?
haven't been to one in probably 20 years.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay. Well, give us the rundown. Let's say from the time you left high school, where you went to college, and what all did you do, and all that, to all up to the present day.
You don't want to know all of it, but after leaving Richmond High School, I went to Ball State. Got my degree in physical education and mathematics from there, and did my student teaching at Richmond High School.
Oh.
And,
Oh.
was an assistant football coach at that year. That was the fall of '67, I believe it was. And then I was lucky enough that I got a job at Richmond High School for the remainder of the year, starting in Thanksgiving through the end of the '68 spring semester, teaching math. And unfortunately, I had to take, I think it was Mr. Poland.
Oh,
yes, I remember him.
Yeah, he had a heart attack, and so I kind of took his place as a substitute for the remaining part of that year. That summer '68, I got married and moved to California.
Who'd you marry?
A girl by the name of Mary Opperman.
Was she from Richmond or
She was a Muncie girl.
a Muncie girl?
Not Muncie Central.
Yeah.
No, South Side.
Okay.
Oh,
Hey, Ron. Ron, one of the funniest stories I remember about when you were married to Mary was you hiding beer in the bushes in one of your neighbor's houses.
What?
Oh, why?
Remember that story, dog?
I've done that a lot.
Not a dog, you guys.
Why?
He left his dog
Why? Yeah.
and snatch up a few beers out of his neighbor's yard. I've never forgotten that story, Ron. That's great.
No.
But you didn't have any beer in your refrigerator?
She wasn't much of a drinker.
See,
So,
that's what I was thinking. That's what I was getting.
She wanted
Like,
to keep it away
there was
from me if I could.
Okay, that makes
But
sense.
anyway, moved to Newport Beach, California. Got a job teaching out there for
Get to there.
about 3 years. And then I wanted to get into a junior college system, but I needed more education. So I got my master's degree by coming back to Ball State in the summers. And then once I got my master's degree, I decided to go back and try to get into the junior college system in California, which
After you
requires
had,
that-
you needed to go to junior college?
did I what?
So after you got a master's degree, you had to go to junior college?
No,
That's-
I had to go
Teach,
back
yeah,
to college and get more education so I could get into a junior college.
Teach.
To teach,
To
Chrissy.
teach.
So I could teach there.
5 years.
Okay.
So in order to do that, I had to take a leave of absence from my job in California. And that's when I moved to Oregon.
Oh my gosh.
And I became a quackerbacker at that point. After 1 year there, I got to examining what I was doing, and I found out that I had everything but a dissertation in order to get a doctoral degree. So I stayed for another year or so and got my doctoral degree from the University of Oregon. And at that point, I moved to Florida. That's where the job was that was offered to me. So at that time, jobs were pretty hard to find. So I took it and came to Gainesville.
What year was that, Ron? What year?
Yeah.
That was in '74.
Okay.
Okay.
And
Rose. Rose.
so I taught there for the next 35 years.
Wow. Finally stayed in one place.
Yeah. But after I moved to Florida, wife and I didn't get along too well, so I ended up getting a divorce. And
Okay,
a little while later, I met a Gainesville native and got remarried. And I was married to her for 36 years. So she unfortunately passed away about 5.5 years ago.
Okay.
So,
And then,
in the meantime, I taught basically physical education type classes, but they changed their name every, it seemed like year or so. So they called it something different. So I ended up, when I retired, I was in applied physiology kinesiology. It's a fancy way of saying physical education.
oh, okay.
During that time, and when I was in California and Oregon as well, I did a lot of officiating. In fact, I officiated for like 50 years, I think it was.
Oh my gosh.
And I couldn't get into college officiating, although I wanted to, but I couldn't get into the SEC because it required travel, and my job at the university wouldn't allow it. So that was, it had to be back in the early 80s was when I was trying to do that. One of my former teachers, Troy Ingram, got me started in all that years and years back.
Neat guy.
Still alive and doing well, Ron.
Pardon?
Troy's still alive and doing well.
Oh, good. Is he
Yeah,
still
he-
living in the same place?
He lives in the same house he bought when he moved here,
Oh, my gosh.
over on Southwest F, I think it is, and then he drives a van for all elderly people called Custom Caravans, the name of the company.
I've seen him around.
Drives
Just don't
everyone.
ever ask him. He was my driver's ed teacher, so don't ever ask him about that because he was terrified. I mean, really terrified. We had to stop.
I was in his homeroom.
That was funny because my driver's ed teacher, she let me drive one time and that was it. I never got to drive the car again.
Well,
Was that-
were you and Ron in the same homeroom?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, you had
Now,
Troy Ingram. Yeah, you're in there.
Yeah. Hey, Ron, I don't want to interrupt this, but we'll see if we can get Troy's contact information. You should probably contact him and just tell him, that he, kind of got you started.
I did send him a videotape of at that time it was billed as the national championship high school football game between St. Thomas Aquinas out of the Fort Lauderdale area and I believe it was Lakeland. And that was back in, probably 2004 or 5.
Okay.
And, but I never heard anything back from him, so I didn't know whether he got it or it got lost in the mail or just what. But now I was lucky enough to be able to do that game. That was nationally televised, by the way. So, and I was the referee of the game, so
That's great.
I don't think I screwed up anything, but you know how that goes. They didn't have video replays back then, so I was lucky.
Yeah.
Bring me up to date here. I retired from the university back in 2009 and have been retired ever since. Well, I guess I've been out, 12 years now. And
That's right, man.
I bought and moved into this house, which I built, by the way, back in 1986, I believe it was. So, but I got about 9 acres, and I used to have horses and goats and donkeys. My wife at the time had 40 cats.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Cats, do you say?
No,
We had
no.
a variety of dogs in that. She at one time wanted to be a veterinarian, but at the time when she was going to school, women were discouraged from going into the veterinary field
Right.
because they might get married and have kids and have to leave the profession.
Was anyway.
Oh.
No, for God's sakes.
Couldn't get away with it this time, but that was back in, I guess it was
The day.
She was 2 years older than I was, so. Back in
Ron?
62 is when she was trying to get into vet school, and they just didn't want her to do that.
Wow.
Ron, you might be interested to know, my daughter's a vet, and she pumped breast milk while she drove her vet truck between appointments. So
My
they can do it
goodness.
these days.
Multi.
But right now, basically, I spend most of my time with following Florida athletics, and I do some things behind the scenes with football, and of course, I have been on the shot clock in basketball ever since the shot clock came into being back in the
Set.
I guess it was about 83, 84, something like that. That's where I spend most of my time. And unfortunately, for all you guys, that means every Saturday, just about, I have something going on with one of those programs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So when
Ron,
if
are
you're
you
the
on
shot
Facebook?
clock guy, you're probably on TV a lot.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, Ron, are
Never
you on
watched,
Facebook at all?
pardon?
Are you on Facebook at all?
No.
Okay. Troy Ingram's daughter's on there. I'll try to get a hold of Carrie and let her know that we've chatted.
You can't give you my email address. I don't.
I've got that on Tom's stuff, yeah.
No, but
I'll give it
I
to
would
him.
like to talk to him.
Yeah. I think
I'll try to
Last,
convey
last
that
time I saw him
information.
was when my dad passed away. That was back in what, 95, I think was the last time I saw Troy. And he
Okay.
stopped by the house at the funeral. So,
I think it's funny, he drives for elderly people and he's
Yeah.
older than we are, so.
Yeah, Troy is,
But the rest of us
I think
drive.
Troy's 10 years older than I am in town.
So
Troy
85,
would be Dale Harris's age, I think,
that could,
85,
wow.
yeah,
84 or 5, yeah.
yeah.
I was gonna say, he's gotta be about 84.
He probably
At
drives
least.
people younger than he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny because he does drive people that are younger than he is.
Oh, I'm sure he does. Yeah. If he's in good shape. Yeah.
One of the gals out here is a really good friend of his. She stops by her house every now and then.
Dell,
To visit when he comes by.
Dell is 83 and be 80, 84 this year, June 18th.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And Ron, the 45-second shot clock was introduced in 85, 86, and now it's down to 30 seconds. But that was the first year they experimented with a couple of years prior to that. Some conferences did.
Well, the Southeastern Conference, I know has had it since about 85, 86, like you said, but before I did that, I was the scoreboard operator with Florida basketball.
Wow.
Did you ever get yelled at, Ron, for not operating a scoreboard exactly as some people would have liked you to have?
Oh, guarantee it.
But it's probably not as bad as being a ref.
Yeah.
Not quite
Yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
if you're just a few seconds off in getting the right score up there, that you're going to have a coach on your back.
Yeah, yelling at you.
Which Florida school were you with? Which Florida school?
University of Florida.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Gators.
The Gators, University of Florida Gators. Yeah. Yeah, that's where, what's his name?
We've heard of that.
Yeah,
Heard
yeah.
of that one.
Tebow came from there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So,
I
Ron,
had
did you work
Tebow
with
for a
Randy
couple of high
Stevens
school
directly?
games, and I had Tebow for a couple of high school games, and I also had him in class one time.
Oh, my God.
Oh, really?
But he's what you see. That's what you get with him. He's a very nice guy and very religious.
Hey, Ron, did you work with Randy Stiegelman directly?
No,
Okay, I didn't know if that was part of your work or not.
no.
I heard something. What's going on?
Where would I have? I knew who Randy was,
Yeah.
and of course
And
I knew his
did
wife.
some with statistics and all that kind of stuff as far as movement,
I-
physiology and that kind of thing. So I thought maybe you worked with him at all.
Now, he lived down in the Tampa area, I believe it was.
yeah.
Yep.
Correct, yeah.
I was about 130 miles north. I
Right.
live in a little small town called Alachua, which is about 20 miles northwest of Gainesville.
Okay.
Gotcha, yeah.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Ron, is there a mandatory retirement age for shot clock operators, by the way?
I hope they get one here before too long. Now, I have to go through that COVID testing protocol.
Yeah.
That's the same one that the basketball team goes through, because I am in close contact with them. At the basketball games, I sit right next to Mike White, the coach. And so whenever he gets a picture on TV, if you look right
Rosie,
behind him, you're
Rosie.
likely to see me. So,
Well, since you kind of said something about COVID, let's segue for a minute. So how many of you have either now, let's see, we know that Nancy got her vaccination. Has anyone else got the vaccination?
I got mine.
Nancy
I
got
got
hers.
mine.
Who's saying that?
Nancy
Diane.
Mallet.
Oh,
Diane.
Nancy Apple. I can't help it. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, right.
Okay.
I have an appointment to
I
get
have an
one.
appointment too, to get one next week.
Oh, next week. Oh,
Yeah,
next week.
got there quick.
Right.
how did you get
Tuesday.
on that so fast?
That is fast.
I don't know.
We
Luck.
just called and
Mhm.
just left.
I can say it's we're Texas and we're going for it.
What?
Susie, is it your work that you would get
No, that might help.
No,
yeah.
because I didn't do it because I don't see people face to face. I had been about 3 weeks out of seeing people face to face. No, this is because I'm old. No.
Well, we're old too, and it doesn't help me.
I was at the pharmacy yesterday picking up a prescription, and the pharmacist said, I have 5 extra doses. Would you like to have the vaccine?
You're kidding.
I said, yes. And then
No,
I-
they
Wow, that's super.
I just heard a thing that they have to use those, within 5 hours of what, so they're trying to get the leftovers, yes.
and so evidently a lot of pharmacies have just a few extra doses. So.
Will they save one for you for 21 days from now?
They said yes. They said I would just show up whatever day it was, I think the 5th, and I had a day on either side, sort of like leeway, and they would just give us the second dose then. We don't have an appointment or something, anything.
You know, unfortunately, I came to Hawaii at the wrong time. Because you have to be a resident here to get on the list.
Oh, really?
I gotta go back to Washington.
For how long do you have to be a resident?
To get on the list.
You have to be here for 6 months, more than 6 months.
Oh,
one day?
Guess you'll just have to stay.
Yeah.
The taxing here is pretty bad, though.
Yeah.
You don't want to get taxed.
Well, it seems like so far that Indiana is pretty well organized. They first came out like, what was it, Susie? Only about a week ago for the 80 and above. And then boom, a week later, they said, okay, now it's 70 above. And the IU Med system sent us an email that told us how to do it. And we just went out there and signed up.
Wow.
Oh,
John, the other thing that happens here is the local health departments have done a pretty good job of keeping track of how many doses they have available.
yes.
I know in our county that's true.
Yeah, I'm getting mine through the health department. Yes.
Yeah, same here.
Right.
Yeah.
well, Warren
And
County.
did you get on?
Well, it's not doing well. Montgomery County, which is right down the road, is doing fine or okay, but Warren.
Not necessarily.
No, I was gonna say,
Diane's
You get on,
Sorry.
Bob's 84 and he could not get
Yeah.
on Friday morning. They had
Well,
already,
That's what we ran into, Diane. We got on through Montgomery County, Pennsylvania. Did you know that?
No. What do you mean?
I'm sure my friend called me and it was MONTCOPA and signed up and put our names in. And then they sent us an email saying, yes, you are now registered. And then on Friday, I got the word, there's a ticket available. This is through Premier Health. And they're all full.
So when I went on
Yeah,
to
they
sign
are.
up, there was
They're
no
all-
opening even till the 6th of February. So I'm still at a loss about getting my
Yeah.
husband signed up, and he's over 80.
Oh,
Right,
Oh,
Wow.
right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
get
no,
it.
we're the same
We're
situation.
in law too. And Diane has such a nice nephew who's kind of the head of the health thing, Warren
He's the
County.
health commissioner of Warren County,
Health-
Christie's,
Right,
Christie's county.
right, my county. And he is not happy with how this is going. It's not his fault, but it was like
Right.
they're only getting like 400
They're only getting 300 doses a week.
a week.
Oh, my goodness.
And we're on a standby. I put Christy and Max on the standby also in case people don't show up for their appointments.
Yeah.
They're to
Can you
call
do
us
that
and
for
we have to
me?
be there within 30 minutes. But
Wow.
Well, we could try. Yeah, it's
Right,
right. I
so,
mean,
I mean,
we're there, not far. So,
waiting for that. Christy could get there before we could, but
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So we're
And
waiting.
he is such a nice guy. Diane, he is.
Oh, he
Diane's
is, he
nephew. He's a sweetheart, and he's not been pleased with how this has been going. And I bet he gets the flack about it all the time.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Sandy
Not-
Armcost, how, did you sign up through the Indiana Department of Health also?
Yes.
Okay. It seems like it's like easy here.
Oh, it was easy. It was really easy.
You
Yeah.
just, they just, you go out there and you go out on the internet.
Every state is different.
Yeah,
Yes.
Right, that's right.
Unfortunately. Right.
Yep.
yeah. Well, we won't get into politics, but I just say that our governor, the way that Indiana is run, is pretty well organized, I'll tell you. It's
Well,
Good, good.
So,
These are looking. at
so
you.
far, so good, but we don't go, our appointments, the earliest we can get is Saturday, February the 13th at the Hendricks County Fairgrounds.
That's not too bad.
Okay.
We didn't realize we could do that till late in the day. So if we'd gotten on there early, we would have been earlier, but
No, but still,
we got a reservation.
That's
we
I don't know how I got such an early
closer
day.
than we are. You're
Yeah.
closer than we are, if you at least have a date of some kind.
And ironically, that was the day we were supposed to leave to go to St. Croix,
Oh,
which we canceled a long time ago.
Why did you
I was gonna
cancel?
say.
What?
Yeah.
We canceled. Gee,
Yeah.
I don't know, Diane.
Well,
Please, I
my
know.
clients are going. My
That's fine.
clients
They're
are leaving
nuts
the
if they're
end of the
going
year
to-
for St.
I have
Thomas.
really bad asthma, Diane. I don't dare.
I-
I-
But
Anybody.
St. Croix is a US territory. You don't have to.
Oh,
But you actually. have to
Diane,
go
we're not
there.
going because we don't want to be around people
Yeah,
on an airplane
yeah.
yeah.
and in airports. That's why.
No.
Where's
So
the,
we just made a decision. We hung in there thinking, well, maybe there'll be a vaccine before we're supposed to leave. But we had made our decision a long time ago. We won't do anything like that unless we get vaccinated.
Exactly.
Plus, if I
Right.
have to go and cook for 10 days,
Right.
I'm not going on vacation.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
mhm.
So we've got a good friend and neighbor. She just lives right through. cut
The
through,
backyard.
Yeah. And they own a place down there, and she and her husband left a week ago to go to St. Croix.
Mhm.
And they flew Delta, and Delta's still doing a great job keeping the middle seats open.
Good.
And
Good.
but they've got basically their own. It's a condo unit, but it's just a beautiful.
Yeah.
It's like a house. I mean,
It's gigantic,
yeah, it's beautiful.
right on the,
So they don't have
Ocean.
anything to worry about.
Mm-hmm.
and they're familiar enough with everything that it's not a problem. So
Right.
she hates coming back to Indiana. She just gripes the whole time she's here.
But now, Ron, we really appreciate you finally getting on. Yeah, I know. So you let us know now each week. Let me know if you're going to be able to be on or not.
Okay, I'll try to do that.
Okay. Well, you were always good at.
But I still value those replays that you
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
put
yeah.
out first of every week. So
Well, we're recording this one, and Diane whistles. She always makes sure that we're recording because I almost screwed
You
up.
messed one up.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
missed half
That
of it.
was really cute.
So,
Oh, well.
yeah.
Hey, Ron, I have a question. Do you still have animals, or what animals do you still have on your 9 acres?
I no longer have any animals.
What?
They
Cold
got to be
turkey?
almost more than I could handle. And besides, most of them were refugees anyway, so they were getting up in age, and they were dying off on their own. And I finally found a family about 40 miles south of where I live that decided they would take the donkeys and the goats.
Oh,
They
wow.
were basically the last we had. So, but I miss having the dogs around. I always had a lab or two. I think the most I ever had was 5 at one time.
Wow.
Wow.
With your wife.
Wow.
The last black lab I had was fearful of lightning and thunder, which we get a lot of down here. So one after the thunderstorm, he decided to take off, and I was the last I ever saw of him. And I tried to find him and looked all around, even put ads in the newspaper about a lost dog, but I don't know whatever happened to him. I hope he found a good home.
Yeah.
He's about 10 years old, so he was up in age as well.
That's a bad feeling.
Yeah, we had that neighbor of ours.
Well, so Ron, I know that you've been watching the recordings, so you know that David Harold has been entertaining us with all of his Navy adventures.
This is new kid.
And I usually will send out with the reminder the write-up that he has. And so we're now down to the final,
I thought we heard that.
not the final installment.
You heard that one
No,
yet?
we're going now to the final installment. And this thing, I was laughing my tail off when I read that one that you sent, this last one. So I want you to really embellish this thing, because that one before, there was some really funny stuff in there that I thought you kind of skated over real, you didn't really go into it as much as. It's too bad we didn't have that picture up either of that guy getting his belly kissed.
David, has the statute of limitations run out on all that now? No court martials available anymore?
Oh, no. Hey, what is wrong with your audio?
Oh,
What?
we can't hear him.
Can't hear it.
He can't hear.
Oh.
Oh, well.
Look at
That's a problem.
Kinder.
Christie
He had a-
doesn't have video.
Yeah.
He had a problem last week too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
Might be losing it.
Tom Kinder, I know you're kind of chuckling in the
Yeah,
background.
he realizes it. Yeah.
He's what?
He's laughing at something.
Real.
Oh,
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I apologize.
He took.
All right.
He went off.
You're not allowed to laugh.
So you're not
No,
laughing at
no.
any of us.
Hey, Carol, are you
Anything to
going
drink, guaranteed.
Coming back.
Yeah, here's some diet root beer right here.
Oh,
All right.
it's like wine to me.
Yeah.
Diet root beer.
Diet root beer.
Is that all you could say, Tom? Diet root beer?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think he's already well into the bottle here.
So you better get a rope on him.
Yeah. Hey,
It's too late, isn't it, Becky?
Carol Fleming,
Yeah.
we all want to know
Yeah.
how well you played golf last week.
That's right. You did great.
So well, I'm going back again today.
Okay.
Good.
And if you
Where are
look
you
at-
doing this?
I belong to a club that's just about a half a mile from my house. So I just get in my little golf cart and drive over.
Okay.
It's not cold there?
It's very cold. But I got a little heater for Christmas, this winter,
There's David right
and
back.
it's wonderful. So
Good for you.
I play more now than I ever have, just because.
Well, isn't that nice?
Yeah,
Good
it's
for you.
Good.
yeah.
Good for
I
you.
want to tell you, I talked with Sonny Haynes, and he
Oh,
lives.
how's he doing?
Oh,
Well, he's fine, but Tom Pearson was
Not
in
doing
the
well.
hospital.
What?
And then he came home. He thought he had a mini stroke, but I think that was self-diagnosed.
Oh,
Okay.
So
okay.
then he came home, and then he went back to the hospital for tests, and he's still there. He has
Oh my goodness.
swelling in,
Yes.
in his feet and legs.
Yeah.
Yes. What? Say, did you say it again?
He has a lot of swelling in his feet and legs.
Huh.
And
He
so,
posted on Facebook that he had heart failure.
okay, that could be heart.
He posted that?
Yes, he did.
wow.
The extremities when your heart doesn't.
I
work.
think I'm back.
Yeah.
He's got no
Okay, all
earplugs.
right. Well, we've got you back fast. Now, don't go through it fast, but we better have you do it before you lose your arm.
Okay, so somewhere around the 1st of August, we found out our ship was not seaworthy anymore.
Like what year are we in now? What year?
19, be the latter part of 1969. Our hull had eroded to a 1/4 inch. We were taking water in the bottom of the ship. We had to pump it out every day. So we finally got orders to go home. And so we went through 3 ports on the way back, went through the canal. And of course, we hit the biggest damn storm you ever saw in your life.
Oh.
We had 80-foot seas off of Mayport, Florida.
Oh,
All of our life rafts were washed over. We had a 7-foot gash in our bow.
How can that be?
Our P250 pumps would not work. So we had to fix all those and start pumping water off the ship as we're in the middle of a hurricane. And it was not funny at the time, but it's funny now.
Mm-hmm.
We had to send somebody out on a rope to the middle of the ship
Oh, jeez.
to see if our expansion joint was tearing.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Means the ship would rip in half, basically. So,
Oh,
Did they send you?
no, I wouldn't do that.
He's an
A very low ranking person, so
Okay.
we shot a line between the main structure of the ship and the hangar bay, tied a rope on him on both ends and kind of shot him out there as the waves are just knocking him all over the place. So we had about a 1.5 foot rip
ooh.
in the expansion joint. So we were a little hesitant, and then we couldn't do anything with the ship. You can't use rudders, you can't use screws. And we're doing, I don't know if you guys know what a yaw is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going up waves that are 80 foot high and the ship's just turning sideways and coming down.
Oh.
across. And we're taking heavy water over our stacks.
Oh, my gosh.
The vents on the stack are taking water and it's going down and dripping on the boilers and they're starting to crack and creak. And
Oh.
wow.
so we were all pretty scared. I was probably praying the hardest I've ever prayed.
Yeah, I think.
So, anyway, we finally got through that storm after 3 days, and we get up to the Chesapeake Bay Bridge Tunnel. And when you go into Norfolk, the captain's not allowed to take the ship on his own. He has to have a pilot. So we had to anchor out. We got there late. And my friend Dawson had the 8 to 12 watch, 8 to midnight. And I usually took the midnight to 4. So we all knew going back, we needed to get rid of all our marijuana. He decided he would smoke it on watch.
Oh, no.
So I get up to relieve him at midnight and he's in the captain's chair and he's asleep. And I look out over the bridge and I can see cars going into the Bay Bridge Tunnel.
That's bad.
We're like, I'm gonna guess 200 yards from the tunnel itself.
Oh, oh my
I'm
gosh.
thinking, this is what I really need in my career is for the destroyer to crash through the tunnel.
Mm.
So I did an all back full on the engines, and that woke the captain up. So he came out and we made up some story about the anchor broke loose, which it had. And we had finally got it to catch again. So he said, good job. And he went back to bed. So it kind of
Oh,
worked out.
geez.
It's pretty frightening to see. I'm sure it was frightening to the cars on the bridge too. And then in September, we got back to Norfolk. I took a ride with my buddy John up to Philadelphia, where I met my wife Kathy for the first time.
Oh,
We dated for a while. That was late September. By April the next year, we were married, so we hit it off pretty good.
And you're still together?
We're still together.
Oh.
He puts up with me. So we became a reserve training ship after that. We take guys from Annapolis out or reservists out and teach them how to do salesmanship and have a few gun shoots, fire the guns off. But all this time we were also going to and from the yard to have our hull repaired, have our guns repaired, have our radar repaired, fix the bursting pipes, hook the bulkheads back up, and this ship was falling apart. So we go out on this 2-day ASW exercise off of Newport, Rhode Island. There's a Liberian tanker breaking up in the ocean in heavy seas, of course.
oh,
So they dispatch us. Now we were supposed to be gone 2 days. No one called our wives, anything. We were gone for almost 3 weeks.
Oh,
And no one calls anybody. So she didn't know where I was. You couldn't call anybody. You couldn't use the ship shore. By the time we got to the tanker, it had broken in half and people had been in the water for several days. So they're all dead.
oh,
So we start picking up bodies.
oh,
We run
geez.
out of body bags. So we wrap them in sheets and put them in bread sleeves and put them down in our food locker. So my fire control guys they're really smart guys and they were great guys. They thought one of those guys should wrap themselves up in a sheep and lay next to the bodies down there and we'll
Oh,
send somebody
geez.
down to get some food.
Jeez.
So they send this poor mess cook down. He goes to grab some, and all he's got on is they made sure the lights wouldn't work. And they gave him a lifeboat light or a life vest light. You ever seen they just flash? That's all they do. So he steps into the food locker and the guy on the sheet raises up and moans. He tore ass out of there. Hit both shins on the watertight edge on the door, tore the skin off his things. The captain calls me up. I told him I didn't know anything. I didn't know these guys were going to do this. And he says, you know what? It's really okay because the guy's he's not that unhappy with it. He's pissed off because, of course, his shins are all scraped up. He says, but Mr. Harold, that's the damn funniest thing I've ever heard. And it says if he's not concerned in pressing charges, that we're not going to go after the fire controlman. It had to scare the hell out of that. I would have scared the hell. I would have had a heart attack.
When your psoriasis is bad.
And then we basically only did sea burials that worked sometimes. Sometimes they didn't work. We dump some canisters in the water, and oftentimes they don't sink.
Oh, geez.
Because they don't have enough weight in them. So one time we shot holes in it so it would sink. And it's a good thing. There's no family out there with you, so they don't know what you're doing. And then one time we couldn't recover one. I kept thinking, God, is this going to wash up on some beach in South Carolina? And some little girl's going to pick it up. They'll say, hey, mommy, what is this? So that's all we did for the better parts of 2 years. It was like having a job. I'd drive in the morning, get off at night, get some other officer to stand by watch at nighttime. And we got an apartment in Philadelphia. And then February 9th, my favorite captain, he was going to be transferred to another place. He invites me up to the wardroom. I don't know if you've ever heard of Pappy Van Winkle bourbon, but it goes for about $3,000 a bottle.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
Whoa.
And he pulls it out of the drawer and he says, I only have one man I will want to share this with as I leave. And he says, that's you, Mr. Harold. You've turned out to be a fine officer. and you have been the best entertainment in my naval career. So we sit there in the wardroom and we drank that whole bottle of Pappy Van Winkle.
No way, man.
Oh,
Dude.
wow.
Oh my gosh.
And then, I guess about 3 weeks later, Commander Deaton showed up, and he turned out to be a pretty good guy. He was a Mustanger, if you know what those are. A Mustanger is somebody that works his way up through the ranks. So at one time he was an enlisted man.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I walked into the stateroom. He says, "Well, I have the full story on you from Captain Wilson." He says, "I think we'll get along just fine. Just you don't have to be as wild as he said you were, but we'll get along okay." So my wedding date comes up in April, and our ship has to take a thing down to Operation Springboard in Cuba. So the ship's leaving on my wedding date.
Oh,
God.
So I said, "Captain, I got a problem because the guys on the ship are also my best men." So he said, "Well, don't worry about it." He says, "You can take leave. They can't, but you can. And I need my car taken down to Fort Lauderdale anyway. So when you're done, you can drive my car to Fort Lauderdale and we'll meet the ship there." So I said, "Great." So I had to get my brothers and a friend of Kathy's to be the best men and groomsmen. We got married, had this 2-day honeymoon. And then I drove down there, met up for Operation Springboard, which is down in Guantanamo Bay. And we get there and it's basically an exercise with reservists to show them how to fire the guns, how to do all kinds of stuff. And we're firing at a sled, which is pulled behind the tug. And I thought, man, we're getting awful close to that guy. But it'd be 150 yards in the back of the sled. So ship comes in, it pulls in the dock, and this boat, chief boatswain's mate comes to me and goes, "I have a piece of projectile here that landed on my ship." He says, "Who wants to bend over and take this?" And I said, "Chief, let me ask you something. How much line did you have?" He says, "I had a good 100 yards. I said, "You're supposed to have 300 yards of line." I said, "What kind of line did you have?" I said, "Oh, I didn't use a line. I had a steel cable." I said, "Well, I'll tell you what, dummy. The radar walked right up the steel cable. So you're damn lucky you're not dead." I said, "You want to bend over now?" And he says, "No, sir. No, thank you. I'm sorry." So with a crew of half a crew and a bunch of reservists, we outshot every ship down there and won the Gunnery E. And then I came up with this brilliant idea.
Another one.
We're firing at a remote control drone up in the air, and you always fire behind them too. So I said to my chief fire controlman, "Don't put the offset in." He said, "Oh, we'll hit the damn thing." I said, "Yeah, I know. Don't put the offset in." First round went out and takes the drone down. So I went and explained that to the captain too. I just said, we were just a little bit off, but I really wanted to shoot it down. And then I get called to do shore patrol in Guantanamo Bay. Well, Guantanamo Bay is a very unusual Navy base. It's Marines, Seabees, which is the Navy construction crew, sailors, and it is the most god-awful place. There is nothing to do there except the enlisted men's club. So I get assigned shore patrol. I go over to the shore patrol place and they say, "We're wearing chrome helmets tonight." I'm going, "Well, that's unusual. We don't usually put helmets on." And they said, "Put a clip in your 45. I go, "Wow, this is really unusual." And put breakaway nightsticks. I'm going, God, what are we going into here? I stepped into that enlisted men's club, and I'm not kidding you, in 15 minutes time after it opened, we had people being tossed through tables, thrown through the doors, fights galore. So like beating people with nightsticks, they don't even feel it, so you had to like hit them in the back of the leg so they fall over. And it's all over, and they have these transports down there, they call them. They're old tractor trailers. They cut the sides out, and they put poles in it. People hold on to, and I'm standing up front. And the Marine sergeant says, "Let's throw the officer off the transport." I said, okay, now I know why there's a clip in my 45. So I said, okay, come on and then do it. So he finally backed off, and then the rest of the time on the ship was, like I said, pretty easy. December of 71, I finally got my discharge. I tried to trick them. I tried to go over a month early for my thing because they messed my orders up to say November. So I went over, started taking my physical and everything. Come back to the ship, and the captain goes, hey, Harold, what are you trying to pull? You don't get out to December. So he fixed that all up. And then 15th of December, 1971, the captain did the nicest thing. He had all the fire controlmen, all the gunners mates dressed in their dress blues, right? Piped me off board with a boatswain's pipe, rang 4 bells for me and said, David Harold departing.
Oh, is that
Pretty
cool?
cool.
That was nice.
So all in all, the Navy was okay with me. I had some good times. It led to a lot of things in civilian life, believe it or not. I got one of my first jobs was with Oak Industries, and he was a admiral's aide, the president of the company. Said, you'd be harsh enough to work here because we're going to be doing a lot of nasty stuff to the people that work here, and we're going to grow the company 26% a year, and we're going to lay off that many people. He said, but you'll be able to handle it because that's the way guys are from the Navy. So that worked out, and I did a bunch of SAP consulting for SPAWAR, which is Space and Warfare for the US Navy. I did it for NASA for offloading and loading the space shuttle.
Oh, wow.
Did it for DOD, and I did it for a company called Unicor. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. It's the Department of Justice prison system. And I'm thinking, what the hell are they using SAP for? So they have these little manufacturing pods in the prisons, and we have to go up to what's called maximum lockup in Inglewood, California. We get there and we walk through it. It must be 7 layers of razor wire on the fences as you go in. And we're going to teach convicts how to use SAP.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. They do a whole inspection in the morning that takes a couple hours. They work for about 5 hours. They make, I think, $50 a month. And so I'm saying, well, what kind of stuff do they do? And they said, well, they make aircraft landing gear.
Oh, my God.
Oh, wow.
You got to be kidding me. And they repair Toro lawnmowers, right? And then I find out they're taking credit card information for American Airlines flight reservations. So when you talk to some of these people, it's a convict. If you can believe it.
Wow.
So just amazing stuff. They make all the furniture for the government, all the like office partitions.
Pretty cheap labor.
So I have all these German guys in there with me. And the one guy, he's maybe 5'2", skinny. And he says to me, well, what are these guys in here for? I said, well, it's maximum lock. They're here for murder and other stuff. He says, Jesus, what are we doing here? I said, we're going to teach them how to use SAP. I said, thank God I just have a murderer. He says, what do you mean? I said, well, you're with a male rapist. What? Of course it wasn't, but he was.
Okay. All right now. Well, Dave, how did you learn all about SAP? Did you learn about it? You couldn't possibly learn about that in the Navy, could you?
No, I went to work for Oak Industries as a manufacturing manager.
Okay.
And somewhere along the lines, we needed a new computer system. And one of the ones we looked at was SAP.
Okay.
So Bill Amel was the CEO. He was I don't know how best to describe, maybe he's a Nazi death camp commander. Okay. Terrible guy to work for. Just if you were in the Navy, you could put up with him because I had commanders that were like that too, or other captains. But Bill was a nice guy if you knew what you were doing. If you were a total idiot, it was just the opposite. I mean, this guy threw overhead projectors through our conference room wall one time. Right? And anything I asked for, I got. Anything else any of the other managers asked for, they didn't. But I always had it prepared and I always had justification to do it. Anyway, we were up in Boston, Massachusetts, where Oaks headquarters is, and it was an awfully bad management meeting. I thought he was, the stupid HR guy came up and said, what kind of turkey should we get for Christmas? Frozen, fresh, 10 pounds or 30. And you could see Bill Annell just like going into a rage. I'm going, I'm just going to move back from the HR guy because he's going to be a projector here pretty soon. So I walked out of that meeting and the 3 SAP salesmen, SAP has an office like down the mountainside, 1 level down. I'm walking by and they say, hey, Dave, what are you doing here? I said, well, I'm up there for a meeting. I just needed to come out and get a breather. And they said, why don't you come to work for us? Well, make me an offer. So they said, yeah, we will. So I go back to home. We were living in Harrisburg at the time. And I wait for this offer and I wait for it and I wait for it. And so I finally called. I said, well, are you going to give me an offer? They said, we gave you an offer. We sent it out to you FedEx 3 weeks ago. Well, our FedEx guy had this habit of, if it's raining, he would put it under our welcome mat. So I never looked there. So I said, wait a minute. All right, I get it. It's sopping wet. You can't read it. They tell me how much it is. I said, fine, I'm there. I'll be there in 2 weeks. They said, well, no, you have to be here Monday because training starts in Dallas-Fort Worth Monday. So I had to call Bill Annell and tell him I was quitting effectively now.
Uh-oh.
And he said, you know what? He said, I do the same thing, so go for it. So I went down to Dallas-Fort Worth. It was 23 weeks of training on SAP, just on production planning and materials management. I go to Philadelphia. They have no openings for a consultant in either one of those areas right now. So they send me to Germany for 13 weeks for training and plant maintenance. I spent 13 weeks there, came home and then I never stopped consulting. It was like job after job after job after job because they were really hot back then. We'd walk off. I actually worked 3 engagements at one time. I go Monday, Tuesday, one place, Friday, another place. So kept me very busy.
Wow. And then, so once you got into doing SAP consulting, so did you travel overseas a lot?
Depending on the client, when I did Lenovo, it was 2 weeks out of every 6 in Beijing, China, and the other 4 weeks in Raleigh, North Carolina. Even domestically, you're going to travel 4 days a week, leave Monday morning, come home Thursday night. If you're lucky, sometimes the client wants you there Friday. I'd say on average, I traveled 90% of the time, Monday through Friday or Monday through Thursday. I did that for almost 10 years.
Oh my.
And then I finally told my wife, quit your job because when I come home on the weekend, I need to just relax, you know. And you can handle everything during the week, like paying the bills and all that stuff, because it was just too much. But SAP was a great company.
Yeah.
I could tell you about my sexual harassment thing if you want.
Yeah, we want to hear that.
So
I have to
SAP
go.
Okay, good.
I'll watch it on tape, David.
Hey.
SAP grew to a point where we had close to 1,600 employees. So for the Christmas party, they rented out the whole Philadelphia Coliseum.
Oh,
Convention Center. Hired every 5-star restaurant in Philadelphia to make food for a buffet. Took our pictures in formal wear, right? Flew people from all over the world there for that party, put them up in hotels. I mean, this company spent money. Even for health insurance, we had a $50 lifetime deductible.
Wow.
They paid everything. We had a summer party there. They ended up Brandywine Country Club in Philadelphia. We had our own 2-hour fireworks display. They paid for all the golf, all the dinner. Just an amazing place to work. But then Americans started running the company, so they started to have to put more layers of management in it. it gradually degraded, but it was a great place to work.
How about the retirement plan, Dave?
I worked for SAP for 4 years total, and I cashed my retirement out at $600,000.
Wow.
So not too bad.
Pretty impressive, yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then the bonuses were always good there. I mean, usually you could count on bonuses of $10,000 to $20,000 per year. And if you were engaged more than that, you even got more. And then I finally became smart when a client said to me, "Why in the hell am I paying $3,000 a day for you?" And I said, "What?" And he says, "I'm paying $3,000 a day." He says, "You should just come to work for me. I'll pay you $2,000 a day."
Yeah.
And I said, "I can't do that. SAP would fire me." He says, "I'm not going to tell him, are you?" So that's how I started doing consulting on my own.
Ah. And are you still doing that, David?
I have sort of. I have clients that call me every once in a while. Procter & Gamble's one, Lenovo's another, but and then there's a company called Novellus down in Atlanta. They make aluminum.
I'm coming.
I've done a lot of work for them. And then locally, there's a company called Blackbaud I do some work for, but I try not to. I'm not traveling.
Yeah, you travel a lot.
Yeah.
Impressive.
What happened? Post.
Especially now, I think traveling is just too harsh with all the security and
Yeah.
especially with COVID. I have Lenovo called 2 weeks ago and could you fly over to Beijing? I said, not a chance.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, I had a nephew who was consulting, actually it was a separate consulting firm, but they did all the SAP. That was mainly what they did, SAP, and he spent, I think it was 9 months in Shanghai, and he loved Shanghai, but I wondered what Beijing was like.
I found it to be close to horrible. The smog is terrible there.
Yeah.
I call my wife at night. She says, "I can't understand what you're saying because I lose my voice every day."
Oh, geez.
I stayed in a 14-story hotel and you couldn't see the hotel next door. It was
Oh, my word.
Wow.
Wow.
And then the road going from the hotel to Lenovo is like 28 lanes, 14 lanes each way, and it's packed with cars. Try to get on the subway and people push you into it. It's so crowded. It's just people upon people, and there's interesting things there. I mean, the Walmart I found to be interesting. You walk in there and there's like alligators on ice.
Oh my God.
On ice.
On ice, you know, you can buy one, I guess, and have it for dinner.
Oh,
There's pig faces hanging on hooks and lizards, and I mean, it's just disgusting.
That's at Walmart?
In Walmart?
Yeah, Walmart. The hotel I stayed in, I go down in the morning for breakfast and they had boiling water and you'd pick things I call them, to throw into water for your breakfast.
Oh my.
Oh.
I didn't even want to know what they were sometimes. Like, look down there one morning and there's 2 fish heads floating in it.
Oh.
You know, so I told my boss, I said, "Xiao Yi, I need to go somewhere else. I can't eat. There's nothing there I want to eat." And she said, "Well, why don't you go up and stay at the Olympic Center?" Because that's the Olympics were going on then. And there were some hotels and American food around there. So I moved up there and just would take me an hour and a half to go to work, but I could eat. And it was, other than that, it was also a huge project. I had 18 project managers reporting to me. And about 1,200 people on the SAP staff. And I'm the only one that really spoke English. They gave me a young girl to work with me who translated for me, would pull my luggage to the airport and everything. It's crazy because people's a resource there. Even the elevators, they still have an elevator operator who punches the button for you.
Oh my gosh.
So it's a different place. It was nice from the point I could take the weekends and go to the Great Wall or to Tiananmen Square or things like that. Now, once again, I don't think all the time. That's one of my weaknesses. I'm standing there in Tiananmen Square against a bunch of people. And the tour guide says, this is the biggest square in the world, Tiananmen Square. I said, yeah, we have Washington Square, but we don't run over people with tanks.
Uh-oh.
And the whole crowd like steps 3 feet away from me.
Get that American out of here.
Yeah, get that American out of here. But a beautiful place. I got to go to Ming's tomb and to the Great Wall. One thing I can tell you about the Great Wall, if anybody's ever been there, it's much deeper than you think.
That's what I've heard. Yeah.
Between 2 towers, you can be at a 45-degree angle almost.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
And it's not as tall as you would think.
Huh. So Diane, can you turn on? So have you ever taken any trips, anybody over to China?
Yeah, Carol McMahon and I went to China with Katie and Jamie a few years ago. We were in Beijing and Shanghai and Hong Kong.
That where you got lost? Didn't you guys get lost from your tour group?
I think so.
And Diane doesn't get lost, remember?
You would admit it, but Carol told me you got lost.
True. Does not admit to it.
You have to remind me of it. I don't remember that.
We'll talk about it tomorrow, Diane.
Okay. I've forgotten.
Hey, Diane, did you go to the Silk Market?
Oh, yes.
Isn't that the neatest place?
Oh, yes, absolutely.
It's like 14 stories. Yes.
Yeah, a lot of stuff.
It's every rip-off good you can think of in a skyscraper. You can literally buy stuff for.
Oh, I got these purses, the Longchamp purses, for like $4 each. They're usually like $120. So, we just bought tons of stuff. And Katie, of course, was the champion of shopping.
Yes.
But no, we did get a lot of fakes, genuine fakes.
Genuine fakes.
So, no, it was, I would love to go back more. now, but it was great. It was a great experience. Traveling, it really opens your eyes to different cultures.
Oh, yeah.
And ways of life that we don't appreciate because we're very insulated and think ours is the only way. There's so many other cultures that live differently than we do.
Yeah. Well, we're close to the end, you guys. I did want to tell you that Dave, that was great. Thank you very, very much. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun. And
Yes.
We're going to miss hearing these things. But I did call Andy and get an update on Andy, and he's doing fine. I called him. I didn't realize that he has insomnia. And so whenever I call him, I intentionally will not call him until late in the morning because I know he sleeps in real late. And I asked him those last night. I said, man, did you stay up late last night? He said, well, I can't sleep. So anyway, but he's doing okay. He said that he would like to, go over to Mark's, again in some time and get on another call. I'm sure he's never going to, get the technology to be able to be on himself.
No.
But he said he's doing fine. He's, trying to be careful. He says, I've always lived like a hermit, so this isn't anything really different for me. So, other than wearing the mask and that kind of stuff. So,
what's the score of the ball game?
Well, it's 66-65 Butler.
Yay.
In overtime.
Yeah, they're down by 1 point, and there's 1 minute and 30 seconds left in overtime.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so, I mean, it'll be a while before, they'll go through a minute and 30 seconds. It'll probably be at least 5 more minutes, so,
Yeah.
Recording it, but he
Yeah.
has to keep checking it in.
yeah, so anyway. So, has anybody got any last minute things that they wanted to get in on today before we sign off?
Well, Dwayne wanted to know if Bob Van Pelt got the book
No, Bob
that
here.
he left him. Is Bob on?
No, Bob left.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
When did he leave
Next
it,
week.
Sandy?
it's been a couple weeks.
Oh, I'm sure.
I-
And the lady said, well, I'll, take it to him. So Dwayne wrote a note and everything and just gave him one of the books and thought that Bob might enjoy it. Could have been the time maybe when he was, had COVID. I don't know, but she said she'd get it to him.
Sandy, does he have any extra books that we can buy?
He does have a few. I don't know how many.
I'd like to get both.
Yeah.
If you
Yeah.
have them.
He's written all these books. I should hold these up and he'll tell you about them sometime if you're interested at all. But he's done Korea and Vietnam and World War II, of course, of Wayne County, and Boots on the Sand, the War of Terror, memories of those who were there. So he's written several books that he said he had 3 that he could just give away. So,
Did he ever write a book just on the history of Richmond?
no, but
Okay.
he's thinking about doing that. I think someone has done that before, but he's thinking about doing that. He thought that would be an interesting thing to do.
No, it'll take a while.
Or maybe Tom, TK, did
Yeah.
you recently get a book from
I did. Mike Sonsini gave it to me for my birthday last fall.
and what was that one?
And I gave it to Judy.
Okay, what's that one about?
Oh,
Yeah, go. Judy's holding it up right now. And I
That's
think
the one.
From
Yeah.
Leave It to Beaver.
Yeah, what's that one about?
Being a little kid in Richmond.
Yeah, right.
Growing up in Richmond.
So did he write that book?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, that's the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, and that's the one he gave to Bob.
Okay, so how many? of
That's
those
the
does-
one. I'd love to buy one.
Yeah, we would all like to get that.
Yeah.
Sandy?
I'll ask him. I don't know how many.
There's some
he has.
pictures.
Yeah.
Can you recognize? I don't know who those are, but
They're kind of, no.
no. I know you recognize this.
Oh, yeah.
What's the actual name of that book?
What?
What's the name of the book?
It's called Growing Up in Richmond, Indiana, 50s, 60s, and 70s.
Oh.
That's
Yeah,
the one.
he has
Oh,
more.
well, no, the title is this is cute, From Leave It to Beaver to Saturday Night Fever.
Okay.
Oh, that's cute. How much is the book?
I
I
don't
have no
know.
idea. Not maybe $12 or I just don't know.
To see if
Is
he
it-
has any more.
Is it anywhere?
Yeah, see
I'll
if
see
he,
if he has any more.
see if he has some.
Okay.
Yeah, please do. I'd like one.
Please do.
Yeah, we all would.
I think we'd all like one, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Tell him all of a sudden he's going to be able to take you out to dinner.
Yeah.
That'd be great. I'd like that.
I mean,
Yeah, I will ask him.
I mean, he might even have enough to buy you a ring.
Have you guys read the Aquanet Diaries?
Yes.
It's also
Yes.
by
Yeah.
somebody from Richmond.
It's
And it
really
was-
good.
I've
It was
read that.
20 years after we graduated. I think they
Mhm.
graduated 93, no, 83. When did we graduate? Anyway,
63.
after.
That would be 83.
Well, anyway, 83. And it has, I mean, they talk about people that
Yeah.
we know.
Yeah,
A
we
lot
know.
of my
And a
cousins,
lot of your cousins.
I have several cousins.
What's the
Funny.
name of the book?
It's a funny book.
Aquanet
What's the name?
Diaries.
Aquanet Diaries.
You know, she sold the rights to make a movie out of that.
Oh, did she?
She
Yeah.
did.
Jennifer Nevin.
Mhm.
It's a great book.
I've read it.
Yeah, it
I
is.
think I have it. I
Long
think I
time
still.
ago.
Yeah.
Guys, might as well stay on here for another 12 seconds because
Okay.
Butler is up by 3 with 12 seconds.
All right.
to
I'm
go.
gonna get
Oh,
another one.
fantastic.
And then I
Let me
think they
get-
just intentionally fouled one of our best shooters. Now,
So we'll
but
miss
the
it.
problem is
We'll miss it.
Butler is one of the worst free throw shooting teams in the country.
Oh,
They're terrible. So
That's
now
not good.
he missed the first one. He missed the first one.
Where is this being played, TV?
It's
But
being
Andy-
played at Hinkle.
I think
at Hinkle, okay.
Come on, buddy. Jeez, I'll tell you.
Here's another.
Okay, now we're up by.
I know you're all watching.
We're
But
up
here's
by-
another one.
Oh,
by
what's that
Mary
one?
Ellen Donay. I may not be pronouncing that right. But it was Corky Cordell's daughter.
No, yeah.
She's written one.
He was the chef.
Remember? Yeah, in the shadow of her hat. In the shadow of her hat. So that's another one.
Wow, he keeps pretty busy.
Uh-huh.
Not Dwayne.
Oh,
Didn't
no,
write
this is,
Oh,
This is
that's
Mary
not-
Ellen.
Oh,
Mary Ellen Donay. I pronounce it Donay, but I think it's spelled Donat.
Huh.
Yeah.
And that's
And I think her mother taught English at Richmond High School, and then Corky Cordell did a lot of things. Was a mayor, our mayor, and just
Sheriff,
did a
was
lot of things.
sheriff.
Sheriff for a while.
Yeah,
yeah,
I
he was
remember,
there.
wasn't he the chief of police?
I don't know.
Don't
Yes.
know about-
Yeah,
I think so.
He was Santa Claus. I do remember that.
That's the important one.
Yeah, that was the main one.
That's right.
That's the main thing. Yeah.
Oh, Lordy. They did it.
It's over?
It's over.
70 to 66.
We just
Butler.
knocked off.
Oh, yay, good.
Yay.
Number
Good
5.
job.
No, number 8. They were ranked 8. Ranked 8.
Wow.
We're ranked
70
zero.
to 66.
Good for Butler.
So I'll have to send a text message to that young boy up in
He's not.
Canada.
the young
man.
man up in Quebec, Canada, because he can't get
He
those
just
Butler
died.
games. So,
Oh, you can't. No.
well, you guys, this was fun. Now, David. Well, first of all, Ron, I hope you enjoyed this today.
Thoroughly.
Okay.
Good. I look forward
Good.
to seeing you again.
And so,
Next week, Ronnie.
yeah, David, you're going to have to think up, what else you can do to entertain us, man.
Yeah.
Oh, and then we lost your audio again. We can't hear you anymore. All right. Well, you get that audio fixed, buddy. Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right. See you guys next
Bye-bye.
week.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All
Okay,
right.
bye. Have a good week.
Love you.
Good
And
week.
all of you.
Stay
Bye.
safe.
Bye-bye.
Forward to next time.
Thanks, Jane Ann, for
Okay,
your
see you,
information
Ron.
too.
Thank
Oh,
you,
thank
Tom,
you,
Jane Ann.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Jane Ann, for the information.
Information that
Oh,
you
yeah.
sent.
Hope it
Thank you.
helps.
Yes, yes. Thank you, Jane
I
Ann.
hope it helps you.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, we had snow last weekend.
Uh,
I had
Oh, you
3
did?
inches,
uh,
and it was beautiful, but I don't want to live in it. One day was enough.
No, no.
Yeah.
just get.
See,
your
Becky,
truck driving
Becky, it
south.
didn't make it to Houston.
It
Darn.
didn't make it there? Well, I
We didn't get any, not in Houston.
think it
Bryan
went down
College
as far as-
Station. Yeah.
I think it went down as far as Bastrop and
Yeah,
then
oh, did
stopped.
it? Yeah.
But it was beautiful, but just for one day, that's it. Don't want any more.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all. For everybody. There goes. Now we got, there you go. Okay.
Oh, Diane figured out how to get off.
Okay.
Christy's probably off.
Yeah.